Imagine for a moment, what if the reality you experience daily is not what it seems, but rather an elaborate illusion? There's a fascinating concept that's been gaining traction over the years, known as the simulation hypothesis, introduced by Nick Bostrom. It's a notion that's as old as philosophy itself, yet as modern as our newest technologies. It proposes an idea that may seem outlandish at first, but when you really start to ponder, it becomes strangely plausible. What if our reality isn't as real as we think it is? What if we are, in fact, living inside a simulated universe? Now, before you dismiss this as science fiction, consider this. Every day, we interact with virtual realities, from video games to virtual meetings. As the lines between these virtual spaces and our physical environment blur, it's not unreasonable to question the nature of reality itself. But this idea isn't just a product of the digital age. It's a question that has been asked time and again across different cultures and philosophies. Descartes, the French philosopher, famously declared, "I think, therefore I am." His statement was a response to the doubt he harbored about the existence of everything around him. If he could think, then at least he must exist, whether his surroundings did or not. In a similar vein, Plato's allegory of the cave suggests that we might only be seeing shadows of the real world, mistaking them for reality itself. Eastern philosophies, too, have grappled with these questions. Hinduism, with its concept of Maya, proposes that life is an illusion, a cosmic play of sorts. Buddhism, on the other hand, discusses sunyata, the concept of emptiness or voidness, suggesting that all phenomena are empty of intrinsic existence. These philosophical lenses, while different, all offer us ways to probe the nature of our perceived reality. They invite us to question, to wonder, to seek, and in the process, they open up pathways for us to understand the intriguing possibility of the simulation hypothesis. Let's pause for a moment before we continue deeper into our video essay today. Show your support and help our community thrive by giving this video a thumbs up and clicking the subscribe button. Your engagement ensures you won't miss out on more captivating content like this. Now we'll get back to our video. Imagine yourself in the shoes of Descartes, questioning every aspect of your existence. Let's take a moment to delve into the mind of René Descartes, the French philosopher who famously declared, "I think, therefore I am." Descartes was consumed by doubt, to the point where he questioned the very nature of reality itself. He pondered on whether everything he believed to be real was merely an illusion, a dream, or a deception by some malevolent spirit. Now, fast forward to the 21st century, where we find ourselves grappling with the simulation hypothesis. This theory suggests that our reality might not be as solid as we believe. Instead, we could be living in a sophisticated digital simulation, much like a highly advanced video game. Interestingly, Descartes' philosophy of radical doubt and self-existence aligns quite closely with the simulation hypothesis. Let's unpack this a little. In his quest for certainty, Descartes reached the conclusion that the only thing he could be sure of was his own existence. He reasoned that even if he were being deceived, there must be an I to be deceived. In other words, the very act of doubting proved his existence. The simulation hypothesis also centers around doubt, but of a different kind. It questions the physical reality of the world we perceive, suggesting that it could be a simulated reality. So, in a way, both Descartes and proponents of the simulation hypothesis are unified by their shared skepticism of perceived reality. However, the simulation hypothesis takes Descartes' philosophy a step further. It suggests that not only could we be deceived about the nature of reality, but we ourselves could be part of that simulation. In other words, the I that Descartes found to be undeniable might itself be a simulated entity. This idea certainly gives a whole new dimension to Descartes' cogito, doesn't it? It's fascinating to see how a 17th century philosophy aligns with a contemporary theory about our reality. Perhaps Descartes was onto something after all. So, like Descartes, we find ourselves questioning the nature of our reality. Now, picture yourself as a prisoner in Plato's allegory of the cave. Envision being shackled in a dark cave since birth, with other prisoners, all facing a blank wall. Behind you, a fire burns, and between the fire and yourselves, objects are moved, casting shadows on the wall before you. This, Plato proposed, is all you've ever known. These shadows, in your perception, constitute the entirety of reality. Now let's draw a parallel to the simulation hypothesis. If we are in a simulation, aren't we, like Plato's prisoners, confined to the limited perception of our sensory reality? The shadows on the cave wall can be seen as a metaphor for the simulated reality. The objects and figures casting the shadows could represent the higher reality, the one creating and governing the simulation. Imagine one of the prisoners breaks free and sees the fire and the objects behind him. He's astonished, his reality shattered. He now understands that the shadows were mere illusions. This is similar to us realizing we're in a simulation, a revelation that would fundamentally alter our understanding of existence. But the story doesn't end there. The freed prisoner, Plato says, would be compelled to ascend out of the cave and into the sunlight, representing the realm of ideas, the ultimate truth. Could there be a higher truth beyond our simulated reality too, waiting to be discovered? In the allegory, the prisoner returns to the cave to free others, but they resist, their minds unable to accept a reality beyond the shadows. Similarly, the simulation hypothesis can be challenging to accept. But like Plato's prisoners, isn't it worth questioning the nature of our reality? When we look at Plato's allegory of the cave through the lens of the simulation hypothesis, we see striking parallels. Both provoke us to question the nature of our reality, to wonder if there's more than meets the eye, and to ponder the possibility of a higher truth. Like the prisoners, could we too be mistaking shadows for reality? Let's continue exploring this thought as we delve into Eastern philosophies and their connections to the simulation hypothesis. Venture now into the realm of Hindu philosophy, where the concept of Maya comes into play. In Hinduism, Maya signifies the grand illusion, a veil that shrouds the true nature of reality. It's like a cosmic magician tricking us into believing that this physical world, with its myriad forms and phenomena, is all there is. But just as a magician's trick, the world as we perceive it is not the ultimate reality. This notion of illusion parallels strikingly with the simulation hypothesis. In the hypothesis, we are led to consider that our perceived reality could be an artificially created construct, a simulation. Like the illusory world of Maya, our physical existence could be a mere illusion, a product of sophisticated programming. The idea of a simulated reality might sound like a leap from a sci-fi movie, but let's think for a moment. Isn't it fascinating how the ancient seers of Hinduism, thousands of years ago, proposed a concept so similar to a cutting-edge scientific theory of the 21st century? They might not have had quantum computers or virtual reality headsets, but they had something equally powerful: a keen insight into the nature of existence. By delving into meditation and spiritual practices, they peered beyond the veil of Maya, beyond the illusion. They discovered that beneath the physical facade, there lies a realm of pure consciousness, the ultimate reality, Brahman. In the simulation hypothesis too, we find a similar proposition. Beneath the simulated physical world, there exists a base reality, the source of the simulation. So here we have two seemingly disparate concepts, one from ancient Hindu philosophy and the other from modern scientific theory, converging towards the same idea. Both suggest that the reality we perceive, the world we inhabit, may not be the ultimate truth. Both urge us to look beyond the surface, to question, to explore. In the face of Maya, we are led to question, is our reality an illusion? Let's traverse into the Buddhist philosophy, where the concept of sunyata, or emptiness, awaits. As we embark on this journey, it's important to understand that the term emptiness in Buddhism doesn't signify nothingness or void. Instead, it refers to the idea that no phenomenon, be it physical or mental, has an independent inherent existence. Everything we perceive is interdependent, arising from a complex web of causes and conditions. Now, how does this concept of sunyata relate to the simulation hypothesis? Well, let's think about it. In a simulated reality, everything we perceive is essentially dependent on the programming behind the simulation. Just as in Buddhism, nothing exists independently. In the world of a computer simulation, objects, landscapes, even people might appear to have an independent existence. But peel back the surface and you'll find a complex network of binary code, of cause and effect, that gives rise to the perceived reality. Similarly, in Buddhism, when we peel back the layers of our perceived reality, we find the interdependent nature of all phenomena, the sunyata. Let's take a moment to consider a tree. In a simulated reality, the tree doesn't exist inherently. It's an amalgamation of pixels, color values, and computational algorithms. In the Buddhist perspective, the tree doesn't exist inherently either. It's an amalgamation of sunlight, rain, soil, and countless other factors. Both perspectives reveal the same truth. The tree, like everything else, lacks inherent existence. It's fascinating, isn't it? How an ancient philosophy like Buddhism and a modern theory like the simulation hypothesis can converge on the same fundamental understanding of reality. This convergence suggests that perhaps our exploration of reality, from the spiritual to the scientific, is all part of the same journey. It's a journey that asks us to question the nature of our existence, to look beyond our immediate perceptions, and to consider the profound interconnectedness of all things. With sunyata, we are left pondering. Is our existence inherently empty? Having journeyed through these philosophies, we now find ourselves back at the simulation hypothesis. As we delve deeper into the realms of perception and consciousness, the simulation hypothesis starts to resonate with the teachings of Descartes, Plato, Hinduism, and Buddhism. Each philosophy, in its unique way, questions the nature of our perceived reality and implores us to look beyond the obvious. Descartes, with his profound statement, "I think, therefore I am," invites us to question the certainty of our existence. It aligns with the simulation hypothesis, hinting at the idea that our consciousness might just be a programmed feature of a grand simulation. Then we have Plato's allegory of the cave, a philosophical landmark that urges us to differentiate between mere shadows of reality and its true essence. It echoes the simulation hypothesis, suggesting that what we perceive as reality might only be a fraction of the actual truth, much like the prisoners in the cave perceiving shadows as their reality. Drawing parallels with Eastern philosophies, we find Hinduism's concept of Maya, the illusion of the material world, which resonates with the idea that our reality might be a simulated illusion, a construct of a more complex reality. Buddhism's concept of sunyata, the void or emptiness, aligns with the simulation hypothesis, implying that the physical world we perceive may be devoid of inherent existence, potentially a simulated construct of our minds. As these philosophies converge, we find a common thread questioning the authenticity of our perceived reality. The simulation hypothesis, thus, isn't an isolated concept. It's a contemporary rendition of philosophies that have been pondered upon for centuries. It's a modern echo of age-old wisdom, a bridge connecting ancient philosophies with cutting-edge science. In the light of these philosophies, the simulation hypothesis takes on a new dimension. It becomes a tool for introspection, a lens to view reality through, a platform to explore the depths of our existence, and an invitation to delve into the mysteries of consciousness. So, what does this all mean for us and our perception of reality? We've journeyed through the corridors of Western and Eastern philosophies, danced with Descartes' cogito ergo sum, and basked in the shadows of Plato's allegory of the cave. We've traversed the illusory landscapes of Hinduism's Maya and navigated through the emptiness of Buddhism's sunyata. All these philosophies, in their unique ways, have offered us lenses to view and understand our reality. And then, we've contemplated the simulation hypothesis. This modern theory, seemingly plucked from the realm of science fiction, posits that our reality might just be a sophisticated simulation. But rather than diminishing our existence, it brings a fresh perspective to our understanding of reality. The simulation hypothesis and these philosophical concepts aren't at odds with each other. Instead, they're like different musical notes that come together to create a harmonious symphony. Descartes, Plato, the sages of Hinduism and Buddhism, and proponents of the simulation hypothesis are all exploring the same fundamental question: what is reality? The simulation hypothesis doesn't invalidate our experience of reality. Instead, it encourages us to question, to probe deeper. Just like Descartes questioned his existence, or like the prisoner in Plato's cave who questioned the shadows, we too should question our reality. In Hinduism, Maya doesn't deny the world but suggests it's not as it appears to be. In Buddhism, sunyata doesn't proclaim the world to be nothing, but that it is empty of independent, inherent existence. Similarly, the simulation hypothesis doesn't claim our world is false, but that it may not be as we perceive it to be. This exploration isn't about finding definitive answers, but about opening our minds to possibilities. After all, isn't that the essence of philosophical inquiry? To question, to wonder, to seek understanding. So as we reflect on our journey through these philosophies and the simulation hypothesis, let's take with us the spirit of curiosity, of openness, and of wonder. Let's remember that our perception of reality is just that, our perception. And that perception can be broadened, deepened, and enriched. Whether a simulation or not, our reality is what we make of it. As we conclude this enlightening journey, we invite you to continue exploring. The realm of reality, as we know it, is vast and filled with profound mysteries. But isn't that the beauty of it? The thrill of the unknown, the allure of the enigmatic, the charm of the unexplored. Our channel is a vessel in this ocean of knowledge, a compass guiding us through the labyrinth of reality. We delve into the depths of philosophy, spirituality, and the simulation hypothesis, bringing you content that tickles your intellect and soothes your soul. But remember, this journey is a shared one. Your thoughts, your insights, your perspectives enrich this voyage. Share them with us, engage in conversations, challenge ideas, and let's grow together in this pursuit of understanding. Join us in our quest for knowledge by subscribing to our channel. Thank you for watching, and remember, the journey is the destination.